Known by locals as the Little Gem in the Woods, the charming drive up the winding wooded road is only the beginning of a truly unique experience, officially called the Bella Vista Public Library. Started by volunteers, it began in a closet in Raritan Hall in 1983. The present location opened in 1996 and for many years was a private library supported entirely by donations.
Hello, my name is Peter Christie. I'm the mayor of Bella Vista. I'm delighted to speak to you today, surrounded by one of my most favorite things in life, books. The library is one of the most unique places in the world. This is where it all begins. This is what brings people of all ages together to discover so many wonderful things.
Whole families, from the one-year-old grandchildren to the teenagers to the adults to the grandparents, come to the library at once. You have all the age groups all the time.
I love the Bella Vista Library. It's cozy, it's great, it has a wonderful atmosphere.
One of the things we realized when we first came here was that we had a very nice library, albeit very small.
We love coming here. We just have a real good time of just teaching each other and fellowshipping with each other. It's just fun.
Back here in the right-hand corner of the library, we have our financial section. Every day we get the Wall Street Journal, plus we have Investors Business Daily. For anybody who wants to know about stocks, we are set up not only with the two investment newspapers, we also have Value Line. And Value Line is actually invaluable for finding out about stocks.
Just a wonderful place to nurture learning, get a bringer. We do story time, activity. There's always some kind of craft. So today we read stories about clouds and then got to use cotton balls and build our own little cloud. And so there's always something fun. Sometimes there's little snacks, and then there's always something different each week.
Well, I'd say the library is important for my age group in particular because there aren't really many places quite like this around here, and to have a place that you can come and have fun chit chat with the people, or you can find books, or you can research things, and it's just a very welcoming environment, and it kind of has a more homey quality than some other more clinical libraries.
We have so many clubs, so many things just to engage yourself.
People come here to use computers, they come here to be tested for GEDs, all kinds of things.
And the Friends of the Library and Encore Books sell used books.
So we'd like to think that we offer just about everything for any patron who likes to shop in a used bookstore.
There are tables out here frequently where you can get a whole bag of books for $5. Most of their books in the store are between 50 cents and $1. You know, for a little library, this is a very innovative place. Several years ago, we had a patron come to us who had a therapy dog, Dwayne, the library dog. Dwayne has become our library friend. We were the first library in the area to have a therapy dog, and that dog has made a huge difference in the lives of some children.
There's no question, you know, there is like a community that develops among the people.
The library is my friend, and so are my friends at the Knitting and Crocheting Group.
This is a library like no other.
The Bella Vista Library was a tremendous asset when it was first built. But over the years, our population has grown dramatically.
The demographics of Bella Vista are certainly changing. We have more and more young families in Bella Vista now, and we're trying to provide for the children of those families by offering a lot of programs for small ones and also for the teenagers. At the same time, we're wanting to continue to meet the needs of our retired citizens.
One of the challenges with working with an open library that's very small is when we have an event going on, for example, a children's event, and somebody else is trying to read somewhere in the library, they don't have a choice. They're going to be part of the event. They're at least going to be hearing it because there's no way to close the door and let somebody have an event without disturbing everybody else in the library.
It's not big enough anymore.
So when we have events, it gets really loud, and people who are trying to study are having difficulty with that. But you know, you want to appeal to people as a research venue and also as a community center.
There's no place to be in this library. If you are coming in to do something quiet, there's going to be a group that's going to be disturbing you or bothering you. There simply is no place to be.
The Bella Vista Library is 7,100 square feet. When the library opened in 1996, the population of Bella Vista was about 8,000. Today, the population is about 28,000. The American Library Association suggests that you should have about 1 square foot of library space per capita. That means with a population of 28,000 people, we should have about 28,000 square feet.
So we are woefully undersized. Woefully undersized. It is extremely crowded. When we do political forums, asking the candidates to come in and let people become informed before they vote, when we do those, I can't seat more than about 45 or 50 people, and even that's crowded. So people will be backed up into stacks because there's no place to put them. And mentioning the word stacks, if you look around this library, you'll see that our stacks are extremely high and extremely low. So if someone like me, who's pretty short, is standing up and trying to get a book off the top shelf, I have to use a step stool. That's not a pretty sight. It's also kind of a dangerous sight. You don't want me on a step stool. Or if I have to get something off the bottom shelf, I've got to get on my hands and knees to get it. Or I can maybe ask a younger person who might be around to help me pick out a book from down there.
As a volunteer at the library, I've had many, many jobs. One of those was shelving, and when the shelves are this full, it's not an easy job. Putting one book on requires moving books through 4 or 5 different shelves. And all the volunteers know that, and nobody likes it.
So we just don't have space to grow the shelf space. We don't have space for reading space. We don't have space for activities. We don't have space for tutoring. And we need it all.
There are also people who want to use the library for functions. We don't have the capacity. There are some people who want to come in and simply have a good cup of coffee, sit down in a lounge chair and read. We don't have the capacity.
If we can expand the library, we can have a reading room that we can close the doors. We can have some little study rooms where we can close the doors and tutoring can take place.
If we can do the expansion, there will be space for conferences, a conference room that will hold 20. Now we cannot do that. We don't have a conference room.
The library itself is owned by the Bella Vista Library Foundation. The city of Bella Vista provides the day-to-day funds to operate it.
Now this library gets by on very little money. We have 1 full-time employee and 5 part-time employees, and that's it for paid staff.
The city is not in a position to raise money to expand the library, so the foundation is raising that money, and we need your help.
You may ask why the city doesn't fund the library expansion through a bond issue or through some other technique that may be available. The answer is really quite simple. The city does not own the physical building. At the time that the library became part of the city, we took the employees and we took the assets and all these wonderful books, but the building remained with the foundation. That's why we need your help in supporting the foundation to grow this wonderful institution.
Once this expansion is completed, what do you get out of it? Well, we now have 7,100 square feet. We'll have an additional 9,400 square feet. That more than doubles the size that we have now. In that new space, there will be a quiet reading room where you can close the door. There will be 3 small study rooms where 2 to 4 people can work and tutor each other or work alone. Probably the most important thing that we would get out of this is a considerably larger room that can be used for gatherings, for meetings, for events. It's a community space. I think of this library as our community living room. That's what libraries are becoming. One of the features of the events room or gathering space, call you what it was, is you can set it up many different ways. If you set it up with all chairs for a large meeting, I can put 150 people in there. If I set it up with a divided aisle and chairs on each side, almost like a church, you could have your wedding here, and that would be 112 people. Or go across the road, have your wedding at the Mildred Cooper Chapel, which is a very similar ambiance to what you have here, and then come here and we'll put tables up and you can have a reception for 90 people because there will be a catering kitchen. One of the features of our current library is its ambience. We call it our little gem in the woods because it is tucked down in the woods with nature and the trees all around us. The expansion will take advantage of that. It will go off at the back of the building and it will also overlook all of the trees, and you'll be able to look out at some point from the whole back of it is glass. You'll be able to look out from there and overlook Bella Vista Way or Highway 71 or I-49, whichever name it's using now, and you'll be able to look across it to the golf courses. So it's still going to be part of nature. We will also be a stop on the nature trail that's being built throughout Bella Vista. It's not cheap to do something like this. At the present time, we need about another $2.5 million to complete this project. Do understand, however, that all of that is not for the expansion. Most of it obviously is for the expansion. But while we've got everything torn up and in a mess, we figured this is a good time for us to renovate and repurpose the space we currently have in the library. For example, our workroom is so poorly designed that it's very difficult for the people to cover books, to put them in the catalog, and to do all of the back scene work that has to be done to get a library book on the shelf. We also want to finally make our bathrooms, our public bathrooms, ADA compliant.
Our library is very, very important to Bella Vista. This is the one amenity in Bella Vista that is open to everyone in Bella Vista. You don't have to belong to the POA, you don't have to belong to a church. It's yours to use whenever you wish. It is your amenity.
This library belongs to everybody.
This is my library.
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 This is our library.
We need your help.
We need your help to make this an even better library.
We're counting on you. Our library's future is in your hands.